You know, we call Scott the weather expert for a reason, is because he knows how to bust through all the myths.
That's right. He's a myth buster tonight.
Yeah,
what are we talking about?
Yeah, this week there's been a lot of meteorological myths that I've heard about over the years, and some in Idaho, some just in general. So I'm going to try to take this entire week and kind of explain or disprove some of the myths that are going on weather-wise. But first of all, we're still doing our favorite seasons. Another favorite season from Ustick Elementary.
My name is Maddy. I go to Ustick Elementary. I like winter because I can make snowman.
Oh, Maddy, very, very nice. Wintertime, yes, indeed. A lot of fun, but it's time for summer. I don't think anybody's going to complain too much about this summer. Today's myth, what I want to bust on this is, you may have heard the statement, well, the thunderstorms split around the mountains, maybe split around the Owyhee Mountains, maybe went one way around this way and one way the other way. That doesn't happen, and there's a reason for that. So first of all, let's talk about how thunderstorms form here. And the way a thunderstorm forms, like the storms we had today, you get heated surface here. The sun doesn't really heat the air that much at all. It heats solid objects like us and the ground. So the sun heats the ground, and the layer of air that's touching the ground then gets warm by the conduction of heat from the ground to the air. That layer of air is warm now, it starts to rise. And so basically you get a bubble of warm rising air, and if there's cold air aloft, that warm air will continue to rise and cool and condense and make thunderstorms. So that's what's happening here. Now, let's take a look at the Owyhee Mountains, for instance, because I've heard that thunderstorms will come in and go around the Owyhee Mountains. That doesn't happen at all. Now, there are different things that can kill thunderstorms, but mountains really aren't necessarily going to block any storms or any precipitation. So when you look at this here, you see the Owyhees are 8,400 feet. The valley here is at 2,800 feet. Moisture coming in is usually coming in at what we call the 700 millibar level, a lot of it anyway, and we're talking up around 9,000 feet, 10,000 feet, and the air will ride over the mountains and down the other side. Now, keep in mind, as it goes down the other side, it will sink a little bit. I'll explain that, but that moisture, again, is riding over the mountains. The thunderstorms are some 60,000 feet in the summertime. They can be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 feet, so that's way over the tops of the mountains. And if you look here, all these showers and storms that form today, this is today's radar. There's plenty of mountains here, and they continue to go and ride right on over them. Now, there could be things that can kill the thunderstorms. You have the strong, tall thunderstorm. The Owyhee Mountains are sitting right in here. These storms can go right over the mountains. As the air goes over the mountains, though, remember, it will sink down the north side of the Owyhee Mountains, for instance. Right here, you will get a drying effect, so the storms may not be as wet coming off the mountains, but they can still be there as they move on through. If you get cold air coming in out of those storms underneath them, that will kill the storm, but the Owyhee Mountains are not going to block any storms or cause things to go around them. Moisture will go over the mountains. Some storms only form on the mountains, and then as they come off the mountains, then they die out, but the mountains are not going to block it.
So we end up getting more dry thunderstorms of that dry lightning.
We can get it still. Well,
thanks to the mountains.
That drying effect does dry things out, but it's certainly not going to split the storm. So the splitting of the storms, it's not due to the mountains.
Okay, gotcha.
Myth busted.
Myth busted.
Coming up next on Fox 9 on your side.